you're thinking about buying or selling in Queens right now, you need to understand something, because 1.5 million today does not buy you what it used to. And more importantly, it doesn't buy the same thing in every neighborhood. So for this video, I went into the multiple listing and I pulled recently sold homes at exactly this price point all across Queens, so you can see exactly what buyers are actually paying for homes right now. Same price, completely different homes, completely different neighborhoods, completely different outcomes. And if you're a seller, this matters. If you're a buyer, this matters even more, because what I'm about to show you is going to change how you think about pricing and value. Let's get right into it. Right now in Queens, the $1.5 million price point sits in a very interesting position. You're not dealing with entry-level buyers anymore. These are people who have done their research, they've been patient, and they have options. They're comparing Queens to parts of Nassau County. Some of them have even looked at Suffolk. And some are coming out of co-ops or condos in the city, and they finally want land, space, and a real home. So when they walk into a $1.5 million home in Queens, they're not feeling generous. They're comparing everything. They're asking, does this neighborhood make sense for me and my family? Is this home updated, or is it going to be a project? What are the taxes, and can I absorb them long term? And that last one is really important, because at 1.5 million, you start to see two completely different buyer profiles emerge. You have the lifestyle buyer, someone chasing a neighborhood, a vibe, a setting, and then you have the practical buyer, someone chasing square footage, layout, commute, and value. One home can attract both. Most homes attract only one. And which buyer finds your home determines how fast it sells and for how much. Now let me show you exactly how this played out across 4 real sales, all at the $1.5 million, all in Queens, and all from the same MLS data. So we're gonna start off in Douglaston, 20 Ridge Road in Douglaston, New York. This home was listed at $1,599,999. And it sold at 1.5, nearly $100,000 below asking price. This house was on the market for 158 days. This house had 5 bedrooms, 5 bathrooms, 3 full and 2 half, 3,300 square feet, the largest of the 4 homes we're looking at today. This house was built in 1920. It's a Victorian style. It's a waterfront community. The HOA was $900 a year, which included access to private docks, pool, tennis courts. The annual property taxes were $14,405. On paper, this sounds like an absolute dream. Waterfront, historic, over 3,000 square feet, 5 bedrooms, private community, amenities. So why did it sit on the market for 158 days and sell $100,000 below list price? Hey, I wanted to share something for free. I prepared a home seller preparation checklist for residents of Queens and Long Island. This guide will give you everything you need to know about preparing your home for sale. So if you click on the link below in the comments, you'll download your own copy for free. Or if you visit MaureenFolan.com, you'll be able to get your seller checklist there. So thank you so much, and let's get back to it. Because this is what I call a niche lifestyle property. And niche lifestyle properties are beautiful, but they have a smaller buyer pool, especially in Queens. So think about who this home is for. Someone who specifically wants a historic Victorian, not just any old house, but one with authentic character and craftsmanship. Someone comfortable with a 1920 build and everything that comes with it. Older bones, potential maintenance, and updates over time. Someone who values waterfront living and community amenities over square footage efficiency. And someone who can absorb $14,400 a year in taxes, plus $900 HOA on top of a $1.5 million purchase. That is a specific person, and it took 158 days to find that specific person. Now here's the lesson for sellers. Niche doesn't mean bad. It means your marketing has to be laser focused. If you're trying to sell a home like this to the mass audience, you'll wait, and you'll likely drop your price. The right strategy for a home like this is to speak directly to the buyer who was born to own it, not to everyone scrolling Zillow. Moving along to property number 2, we're going to Middle Village. In fact, the address is 8230 58th Avenue. This house was listed at $1,500,000 and it sold at full price. It was on the market 75 days. It had 5 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms, 3 full, 1 half, 2,183 square feet. Significantly smaller than Douglaston. The building area was a total of 4,000 square feet, including all levels. Built in 1930, it was a colonial style, had a finished basement with separate entrance, the annual property taxes were $8,065, nearly half of the Douglaston property. No HOA. Now compare that to Douglaston. Less square footage, no waterfront, no historic Victorian character, and yet this home sold at full asking price, $1,500,000. Exactly what they had asked. Why? Because this home checked the boxes that most buyers at this price point are actually looking for. Let's talk about that tax number for a second, because buyers absolutely run this math. $8,065 in annual taxes versus $14,405 in Douglaston. That's a $6,300 plus difference every single year. That's over $500 a month. Buyers factor that into what they can afford and what they're willing to pay for the house itself. And then there's the finished basement with a separate entrance. In Queens, and I think most of you watching this already know, a separate entrance is not just amenity, it's income potential. It's multi-generational living. It's flexibility. And buyers in Queens will pay a premium for that flexibility. So what made this home sell? Practical layout that works for real families, lower ongoing costs, taxes nearly half of that of comparable homes, flexibility for extended family or rental income, colonial style, broad appeal, familiar, no surprises. Priced at exactly what the market said it was worth, and that's what I call functional value, and functional value moves. Let's look at property number 3 in North Flushing. The exact address is 3549 167th Street. This one has the most interesting price story. Lean into it. Let's look at the numbers. It was listed at $1,688,000. It was 23 days on the market. Sold at $1.5. That's $188,000 below asking. This house had 7 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, all full baths. It was 1,928 square feet of taxable living area, had 13 rooms in total. The lot was 6,000 square foot, the largest lot of all the properties we're going to discuss today. It was built in 1925, a colonial style. It had a private driveway, a garage, a sunroom. The annual taxes were just under $13,000, $12,873 to be exact. Just 3 blocks away from the LIR Broadway station. Now this one is really interesting, and I want you to pay close attention to what's happened here. 7 bedrooms, 13 rooms, 6,000 square foot lot, private driveway, and a garage. On paper, this sounds like enormous value, and yet it sold $188,000 below where it was listed. So why did this happen? Here's the thing about the bedroom count. Sellers love it. Buyers think differently. 7 bedrooms in 1,928 square feet means the average room is likely very small. Buyers walking through weren't seeing opportunities. They were feeling the tightness of the layout, and they were asking the questions buyers always ask. Does this feel like a single family, or does it feel carved up? Can I actually live here comfortably, or would I need to reconfigure? Does the price reflect the space I'm actually gonna get? The market answered not at 1.688, but at 1.5, yes, in 23 days. And that's the lesson here. Strong location, 3 blocks in the Long Island Railroad, close to Northern Boulevard, easy access to the 7 train, strong demand in the Flushing and Bayside corridor. But the pricing needed to align with what buyers were actually experiencing inside the home, not just what the lot size and the bedroom count suggested on a data sheet. Once the price reflected reality, the market responded immediately. 23 days, done. For sellers watching this, the market is not ignoring your home. It's telling you something. Listen to it early, and you won't have to make as big of an adjustment later on. Moving along to our next property in Bayside, 3611 221st Street. I saved the best for last. This one demonstrates what buyers actually want most in 2026. Listed at $1,590,888, sold at 1.5, about $90,000 below asking price. This house was on the market for 31 days. It had 4 bedrooms, 5 bathrooms, fully renovated, 2,315 square foot of living space, and the lot was a generous 5,542 square feet. It was built in 1930, and the home was completely remodeled. It was near the water, close to Little Bay Park and Bayside Marina. The annual property taxes on this house were $14,299. Now here's where it gets really telling. Bayside, fewer bedrooms than the Flushing home, less square footage than Douglaston, higher taxes than Middle Village, and yet 31 days on the market. Clean sale. Why? One word, certainty. This home had been fully updated and remodeled. New windows, new roof, new quartz kitchen, new boiler, high efficiency systems. Buyers didn't need to imagine what this home could be. They walked in and saw exactly what they were getting. And in today's market, certainty is worth money. Buyers will pay more, they'll move faster, they'll waive more contingencies for a home that doesn't require imagination. Think about what a buyer is calculating when they walk into a home that needs work. How much will renovations cost? How long will I be living in a construction zone? How much of my time is going to go into this? What if I discover something after closing? Do I have the cash reserves to handle surprises? Because there will always be surprises. Every one of those questions is a reason to offer less or walk away. But when a home is move-in ready, those questions disappear. Certainty removes friction. And friction is what kills deals. The Bayside home also had a lifestyle element. Near the water, close to Little Bay Park, the marina, and Bell Boulevard, without the niche limitations of the Victorian and Douglaston. It was updated enough to feel modern, located well enough to feel like a lifestyle, and priced correctly enough to close in 31 days. That combination is what sellers in today's market should be aiming for. So after looking at all 4 of these sales, same price, 4 different neighborhoods, 4 completely different outcomes. Takeaway number 2, taxes are a part of the price. Middle Village had $8,065 in annual taxes, Douglaston and Bayside over $14,000. That's a $6,000 difference and $500 a month. Every month, for as long as they own that home. Buyers are running this math. If your taxes are high relative to comparable homes, your sales price needs to account for that, or buyers will account for it in their offer. Takeaway number 3, the more unique the home, the smaller the buyer pool. The Douglaston Victorian is stunning, a one-of-a-kind property. But a one-of-a-kind property means fewer buyers qualify, emotionally, financially, and practically. Niche homes can absolutely command strong prices, but they require targeted marketing, patient sellers, and realistic timelines. If you price them like a mass market colonial, you'll wait. And takeaway number 4, the market always responds to price. Every single one of these 4 homes tells the same story. Overpriced, it just sits. Adjusted to reality, it sells. Positioned correctly from day one, it creates competition. The market is not broken, the market is not slow, the market is just honest, and it will tell you the truth about your price, whether you want to hear it or not. The sellers who listen early win, the sellers who hold out pay for it later. If you're a buyer watching this, you now understand something that most buyers don't. That $1.5 million in Queens is not one decision. It's a choice between lifestyle and practicality, between character and certainty, between lowered taxes now and a waterfront community. But none of those choices are wrong. But you need to know which buyer you are before you fall in love with a home that's built for someone else. If you're a seller watching this, here's the honest truth. Most sellers price their home based on what they need, what they paid, or what their neighbor got 2 years ago. But buyers are not looking at any of that. They're walking into your home and they're comparing it in real time to every other home available at that price point. Sometimes even out of Queens. Your home is not competing against what you paid for it. It's competing against every other option a buyer has right now. And the sellers who understand that price correctly, position strategically, and walk away with the strongest offers. If you're thinking about selling in Queens or Long Island, or even just thinking about it, the biggest mistake you can make is guessing where your home lands in this market. Because as you just saw, same price, 4 different outcomes. Where your home lands depends on condition, location, taxes, buyer pool, and most importantly, how it's positioned and priced from day one. If you want to know what your home is realistically worth in today's market, how it compares to homes like the other ones we just looked at, and what strategy would get you the strongest offers, reach out to me directly. The link is in the description, or just comment the word value below and I'll get you what you need. And if you're not ready yet, just subscribe. I break down this market every single week so you can stay ahead of it. Thanks for watching. Until next time.